One of Louisiana's poorest rural communities is being transformed by a massive new artificial intelligence data center. A project so big, it could consume as much electricity as New York City on a winter day. Joining us now, Bloomberg tech reporter Riley Griffin. She writes about the multi-billion-dollar development in a new piece for Bloomberg titled Meta Goes Big on the Bayou. And Riley, this was going on sort of outside of, for the most part, public view. Tell us what you've learned about this project.
Yeah. In 2024, after the release of ChatGPT in 2022, Meta set out to build the biggest data center. They were looking across the South. This is a trend that is happening across hyperscalers right now as big companies want to avoid that regulatory burden, that red tape that we've seen across the U.S. as communities lash out against data centers. They've gone to the South, they've gone to rural America. Meta was looking, and it worked with Louisiana over the course of the years to secure a deal for a data center that President Donald Trump has said would be Manhattan-sized. This is a 7.5 gigawatt data center. You mentioned the amount of electricity that might consume, and it is rapidly transforming this Louisiana Delta town that has long relied on agriculture to sustain it.
AI obviously is becoming an extraordinarily controversial topic, right? We're seeing commencement speakers get booed on it. We're seeing some politicians start to change their tone about it a little bit because A, there's the fear that it could take jobs, but B, plant centers like this, huge projects akin to this one, require so much resources, so much electricity, power bills go up, and the like. Tell us more about, this project, yes, but also writ large. Are these companies readjusting how they think about this?
Yeah, so this is a $200 billion project for Meta. That's how much they anticipate spending to scale up to that compute. That's a massive number, but really on the ground, what that looks like is somewhere between 300 and 500 jobs and a great deal of tax breaks. Should Meta meet that target of 300 to 500 jobs, they get about an 80% reduction on property taxes. They already secured from Louisiana in 2024 sales tax exemptions on those very expensive chips that are going inside this facility. So there are real questions that continue to emerge about who this benefits, how it benefits them, and when the boom town is no longer in this construction phase, what is really left behind. But I think this is a really different story for the Louisiana Delta, which, if you talk with any farmer in the community, I spent time speaking with more than 100 people in Richland Parish, you'll hear that folks are losing $400 on every acre of cotton they sow, of corn, of soybean. So it's dire times. About a quarter of the population lives below the poverty line. And many folks are still looking at Meta with a sense of hope that those 300 to 500 jobs might still be a lifeline.
So what else, Riley, should we need? How should we be thinking about this?
Yeah.
What else should we know about this going forward?
Yeah, well, Meta is not the only one that is trying to build these mega data centers that consume massive amounts of electricity. This is a fast-moving AI race, and whether you're Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, you are looking at compute as one of those advantages. Meta has the benefit of having hundreds of billions of dollars to throw at the problem, and they are moving quickly. I think we will see other 5-gigawatt data centers cropping up around the U.S., and they're likely going to be in places like Richland Parish, Louisiana, rural America, lots in the South, in communities and places. You mentioned Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, before. People who are allies to Trump and people who are pitting themselves as a business-friendly environment, ones that are calling for data centers rather than pushing them away.
All right, it'll be a fascinating storyline to watch the rest of this year, this election year, but also years going forward. The new piece online now for Bloomberg tech reporter Riley Griffin. Riley, thank you so much. We appreciate it.